we're back with another episode of Brick by Brick. This episode is going to be about behind the back throws. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this. We're going to practice a couple. And what I want to start with is thinking about the difference between a normal throw and a behind the back throw. This is really helpful when I coach people who haven't tried it yet, or maybe athletes that have not built a ton of confidence with it either. So if I think about my normal throw, one of the simplest coaching cues is that I push with my top hand and I pull with my bottom. Top hand push, bottom hand pull. And the other thing I'm noticing is that I'm rotating. So as a righty, I'm rotating to the left. So those are the two main things at play right now: push, pull, and that rotation. So for behind the back, I'm going to reverse those roles. So my top hand, instead of pushing, is going to pull, and my bottom hand, instead of pulling, that's going to push. And then the rotation, instead of rotating to the left, I'm going to rotate to the right. What a lot of coaches like to say is they'll say, drive your back shoulder to the target. It's simply just the rotation. So my top hand's going to pull, my bottom hand's going to push, and that's going to come behind my head as I rotate. As a righty, I'll be rotating to the right. So I'm actually a lefty. My righty BTBs aren't great, but they're good enough for us right now. All right, so that's going to be our first coaching cue, is understanding that the roles of our hands change and the rotation changes. And the other thing I want to start to notice is how far away do I get my hands from my body? So if I keep my hands close to my body, the stick will hit my shoulder, and that will be the deterring factor that releases it. So I keep my hands close, I'm still doing that same rotation and same push-pull, but the stick's gonna hit my shoulder because my hands are so close to my body. And when that stick hits my shoulder, I know that that ball will come out. All right, so that's gonna be a helpful one in tight situations where you don't need to get a ton of power on it. If I'm just throwing a quick little pass, that's gonna relieve my stick pretty quickly, and I can be pretty accurate with it. By getting my hands away now, I allow myself the opportunity to really follow through. So I can add a little more power or distance to a BTB by extending my hands a little bit more, so that I allow myself to complete that follow through without hitting my shoulder. So from this distance, you might not see that much of a difference in power. I'll back up a little bit and add a little bit more of a rotational component as well as the extension. And that's how I'll be able to get a lot more power on my behind the back. So two different ways that we just talked about. One, keeping your hands tight and letting it hit your shoulder. Two, extending further back and getting a full follow through on that behind the back. But either way, I think it's really helpful to break down what each hand does, the top hand, bottom hand, and consider the rotation of your body. Once we get into more complex situations, like being able to do this on the run while someone's pressuring you, these other factors are going to take more of our attention in the moment. And so we want to have the simple fundamentals of what our hands should be doing and which way our body should be turning to get this throw off. We want to get those fundamental things in an environment like this where I don't have any pressure on me. I can focus on my accuracy. I can focus on being consistent. And then hopefully I can start applying it in either practices or games. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Brick by Brick. Excited to hear more of what you guys want to be learning. And we're going to keep this train rolling, keep producing more content for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Next video is going to be on the run. So we're going to work on shooting on the run. Look out for that one, and I'll see you soon. Peace.